Well, I feel like this is a great time to talk to you a little bit about these BFG KO3s. This is the first set of KO3s I've had. I've had many, many sets of KO2s and KO0s or 1s. And what can I say? Now, most of you probably want them compared in relations to the KO2s. And I find the KO3s to be just as capable off-road. I haven't really noticed any better or worse. They feel really just great, like I've expected them. I've had them on some really rocky places like the Magruder corridor, and they felt great being aired down, just like the KO2s did. But the place I see the KO3s really shining is they seem quieter going down the road, going down the pavement. I think the different tread pattern just makes a difference there. And I'm over 5,000 miles, maybe closer to 8,000 miles on this set, and they're wearing really good. Now, I'm gonna do a rotation today, and that's gonna help extend their life, obviously, something you want to do, but I'm not noticing any inconsistent wear or anything that I wouldn't expect. Would I buy KO3s right now if I was buying new tires? Yeah, I would. If I was at a place and all they had was KO2s and I really needed tires, I would buy KO2s too. But if it was my choice and I could choose between anything made today, between all the tire manufacturers, I would pick these KO3s. All right, let's jump into a rotation to make sure my KO3s stay happy. All right, everybody, today is a maintenance day, and I've been meaning to rotate my tires for quite a while now. Well, I want to introduce you to the newest tool in my toolbox. This is a Milwaukee M12 Stubby. It's a little tiny impact driver. Look at this thing. It's very compact. It's going to fit in the van perfectly, and this is going to make today's job really easy. This is for my dad for my birthday. Thank you, Dad. I'm putting it to good use. All right, first we're going to jack the van up. All right, this is the H1 Hummer jack from Agile Off-Road. This thing has been great. Look at the base plate on this thing. It's nice and wide. I've jacked in very soft, deep sand with this, and it works great. So this is my #1 choice right now for an off-road jack, and it's great for just general maintenance, kind of like I'm doing right now. This is the jack that came with my Mercedes Sprinter, and it's just a hydraulic bottle jack. It's kind of heavy. I'm gonna put it down. It works really good too, but it's not as sturdy and not as stable on the bottom. It's got a much smaller footprint on the bottom. So I think I would use it in a recovery situation, but I'd feel a lot less confident in it than I do like the Agile jack. But for times like right now where I just need 2 jacks, I'm on a nice stable flat surface to do a tire rotation, it works great as a secondary jack. All right, I'm gonna use my Agile Off-Road jack to jack this up. And nice thing I like about this jack is it has a little pin in the top that perfectly fits in the A-arm here. And it makes for a really nice secure jacking point. And I don't have to basically lift it in another place where then you gotta go really high to get rid of the suspension's sag. Here, I can just get it up in this nice pin, make sure it's nice in there and the jack's nice and level. Okay, now I'm just gonna get a little weight on it, and the next thing I wanna do is break loose the lug bolts before I get it off the ground and the wheel's spinning. Let me grab my gloves. Okay, this is where this thing really shines, is just turning these lug bolts. Look at that, just busted it loose. That was torqued to about 125 pounds. This is breaking these things loose. Okay, so I just want to put a little weight on the jack and then have most of the weight still on the tire on the ground. That way when I'm unscrewing these, the tire's not trying to spin on me. I don't want these all the way loose because I'm still going to jack up the back, and I always have a fear that it'll shift a little when you're jacking to both sides until they're both kind of up and stable. So I'm going to leave basically just finger tight, but if all the weight is on the tire like it almost is, it'll be fine. Just makes it a little easier. Let's go around and do the back. Okay, now since I need 2 jacks to lift both sides to rotate, I'm using my stock Mercedes bottle jack. This is a hydraulic jack, so when you first use it, you gotta kind of pump it up. It seems like it's not doing anything, but it actually is building pressure inside of the bottle. All right, now I'm starting to see it lift a little bit. I'm gonna do the same as the other one. I'm just gonna raise it just a tiny bit. I always like pulling these handles out when I'm not using it. Now I'm gonna break these loose. Wow, we got dust come off of there. Okay, now those are all loose, so I'm gonna jack this backside up now all the way. Get my jack handle back in. Now I can feel a little more pressure on the handle as I pump it because it's actually making contact and it's built up the pressure in the jack. Whole time I'm doing this, I'm also watching, just make sure the jack looks like it's straight up and down. It hasn't shifted in any way. There we go. All right, let's go around and do the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna jack this one up, get it off the ground now. I don't need to go super high with it. I just need to maybe a couple inches, just enough to get the tire off and back on. Now I really would feel better doing this with jack stands, but so far I haven't found anyone that makes a jack stand that I can travel with. So I do the 2 jacks and I try to do the part where I have the tires off as quick as possible. I'll make the rotation and then I'll get a couple lug nuts on each one. Just so if I do have a jack failure, it's gonna go on the tires as quick as I can get it. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and remove the lug nuts on this one, all but maybe, let's say 2 of them. And those are my safeties until I get the other one completely removed. Okay, I've left 2 on, and I'm gonna go over and do the other one. I'm gonna take it completely off, then I'm gonna come over here and we'll make the swap as quick as possible. All right, this one is off. Oh, it looks like it's about to rain. I better hurry. All right. All right, I'll put my front onto the back. It's always kind of the hard part's lining them up and picking it up. There it goes. And then I'm gonna get a couple of lug nuts on here just to hold this until I can come back and get them all on. You always want to start these threaded on just with your fingers. If I use the impact gun, it would be really easy to cross thread it. So get them started good with your fingers, a good 2 or 3, 4 turns. And then you can use the gun from there. All right. I'm not really cranking these. I'm just getting them finger tight. Let's go do the back. I always use this as a time to check my brake pads and see how much life I have. They're getting there. I'm gonna need backs before fronts. All right, now we gotta get this big dog on here. There we go. Usually if you can get it on the top, finger tight this one down, and then you can push on the bottom and it kind of orients it flat onto the hub. Just like before, I'm gonna get these started by threading them with my fingers, and then we'll crank them down with the gun. This so far has made it so much faster than doing this with the lug wrench. Look at that, it's on. Okay, I still gotta go through and torque these down with the torque wrench. I like torquing mine to about 122. 22 is my favorite number, so it makes it easy for me to remember. I think it's actually either 120 or 125, but I do 122. All right, we just gotta lower this one down. You can do this, you can rotate your tires anywhere. I'm in a campground right now. It's so easy to do if you have a few proper tools. Okay, this is my torque wrench, and I'm gonna set it, like I said, to 122 foot-pounds. So I turn this dial, and as I turn it, it's gonna increase it. And it's kind of got little etched in numbers here, so it's a little hard to see. But there it is, there's 122. It's got a nice long handle, you can get a lot of torque on it, and it's gonna let me get these wheels torqued down. Now when I torque them, I want to push nice and even pressure. You don't want to be like bouncing on it. And you'll hear that sharp crack. That is when they're to the torque setting that we have. And you want to go around here in an alternating pattern, going back and forth. So we tighten the wheel evenly. If you tighten it all on one side, it could have potential to want to warp the wheel. Now, once I've got them all torqued to spec, just to make sure I don't miss anything, I'm gonna go around here in a circle. They're all already tight, but this just lets me keep from making a mistake and leaving one undone. I always start at the top and I work my way around and I get a good click out of all of them. Let's go to the front. We'll do this one a little closer up so you can see what I'm doing. Alternating back and forth. Some of them I hit them twice. Now I've gotten them all, I'm gonna go around a circle and make sure I didn't miss one. All right, there it is. I've done a tire rotation. Now I just showed you one side of the rotation. Obviously you want to do this on both sides. I run fronts to backs, backs to fronts is how I rotate on my Sprinter van. I would recommend the same thing. So here it is, I've done a tire rotation in this beautiful campground in Colorado. Feels really good. I've been wanting to do this rotation for a couple of weeks now. It feels good to get it done. This just proves that you can do maintenance on your own van. Simple things like this. I mean, this might have been anywhere from 50 to 75 bucks to pay somebody to do it. But it took me probably less than an hour, and I've got the satisfaction of knowing it's done right, did it myself, and my tires are good now for another maybe 5,000 miles. I just gotta clean up, pack up, and enjoy an evening here in this beautiful campground.